Welcome to The Source, the stories we do that we want to talk about, and we know you do too. Here's what's on our rundown today. And bring it to the table, marriage. It's a timeless institution, but it's not for everyone. Is it becoming passé? We'll see what you think. In our Street Smart segment, Detroit could use more people like her. We're talking about Jackie and the growing movement to protect yourself and your neighbors in Detroit. A little while later, we will usher in summer with a nationwide challenge on social media. It's sure to be a splash. I know I got soaked, but first, a very serious story we've been covering. It's time for the talker.
This morning, we are talking about the murder of a Detroit mother, Alicia Fox, and the disappearance of her two young children, 6-year-old Kayla Hunter and 8-month-old Christian Justice. The kids, the sweet little kids, were last seen on the 24th of May. Their mother's body found on June 9th in Detroit. I tell you guys, this is a story I cannot stop thinking about. I'm always on the phone with family and asking how they're doing and what can we do to help them. I'm just so sick about it.
Yeah, and I feel like we're doing everything we can in every way. I mean, that everyone is talking about this story. It's been huge on myfoxdetroit.com. Everyone wants to know where are these kids, and yet no answers still.
There's no answers.
And a search, search. These police officers, I'm telling you what, blood, sweat, and tears. These guys, these ladies are feeling it. Yeah. I mean, when you have to search with flashlights through fields and hope you find nothing.
Yeah. Well, and I have to tell you, I was out there the day that they started digging in the backyard, 2 doors down from the home where the family had lived. Yeah. And I was just so worried that they were going to find something. I mean, you know, they're talking about bringing these shovels, and then you see them go back, and your heart just sinks like, oh my God, please don't let them find them.
Yeah. I know.
You know?
Yeah. Because if they don't find anything, there's still hope. I talked with Trevay Fox. She's Alicia's mother. She's the grandmother of those sweet little children. All she wants is her grandbabies back.
We just want to know where the kids are so that we can bring them to safety, so that we can have some closure. Don't worry. God's got you. God's covering you. God's got your back. You're going to be covered and you're going to be home safe with us, where you belong.
I mean, my question is, why was there not an Amber Alert? I mean, watching this even as a viewer at home, why didn't this meet that Amber Alert criteria?
And the family wants to know that. Viewers at home want to know that. Yeah. Amy, I know you did a story about it, and we went to get answers, but they're not the answers I think.
Well, exactly. I mean, we've talked about the criteria that you need for an Amber Alert. We'll go through those right now. An Amber Alert requires that there be missing children. You know, we know that there was never one issued for Alicia's 2 children. The guidelines, they have to be missing, confirmed abduction. Second, it must be determined the child's at risk for serious bodily harm or death. Third, must be enough descriptive information to broadcast to the public that will help law enforcement locate the kids and apprehend a suspect. And then finally, obviously, that the kids are under the age of 17. And they're just saying they don't meet this criteria. You know, there was a lot of time that passed between when someone last saw them, when they were reported missing. Certainly that made things more difficult. Right. Initially, they were thought to be in the company of family, not endangered. I mean, but at some point, you know, we found ourselves in this position where we have a dead mother, a father under arrest, and still no Amber Alert, and people were very concerned that we didn't see that happening.
And how do the kids not qualify as far as them being endangered? When we find their mother dead in an abandoned house, their father fled to Atlanta, Georgia.
They're in danger. Where are they?
You know,
not with their grandmother.
When I spoke with someone from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children yesterday, and you know, they have people on the ground here helping with this as well. And he said, you know, part of the problem also may have been that length of time and meeting that third criteria of being able to actually give some kind of description, a vehicle, a person. You know, we didn't have that in this case. I mean, they did locate mom's vehicle, but we didn't have someone to say, look for this person with this child.
But you know what, one thing we did have, family reported the family missing. Grandma reported them all missing, her 2 grandbabies and her daughter. She said this on Friday, the Friday before the Monday when Alicia was found dead. So there's those days that they want back, that they can't get back. And there's those days that police had those pictures.
And there are
they knew, so why didn't we know? Why weren't those pictures given to media? Because if there is no traditional Amber Alert, we can still get those pictures out there.
Exactly.
Those 3 or 4 days,
social media,
we could have been
so many different outlets.
This brings up a topic that we need to move on to, because we as local media, I feel like we do our best to get stories of missings out there, but we do need to turn a critical eye on ourselves, I think, when it comes to this, in terms of how we look at things on a national level, what national media does does with regard to children or missings in general and
Right.
the disparity in race.
Right, and the decision not to fire an Amber Alert has really sparked a national conversation about the perceived disparities in missing children. Now, take a look at these numbers from the FBI for 2013. More than 460,000 children under the age of 18 were entered into the National Crime Information Center's missing persons file. 171,000 were black, 263,000 were white. At the study out of Warren University reports an average of 1/3 of these children that are missing are African American, but they only receive about 20% of national news coverage.
So it's a big discrepancy. I mean, there's a big gap in there.
Yeah.
So,
You know what? I want to do something real quick. I want to take a quiz. Everybody at home, take a look at these three women. Do you recognize these young ladies? I do. I know their stories. Madeleine McCain disappeared during family trip in Portugal, 2007, never found. Natalie Hollowell disappeared in Aruba during graduation trip, and she was never found. Elizabeth Smart disappeared in Utah. She was found safe, thank goodness for that. The three things these women all have in common are they are lovely looking white women, and their media attention was through the roof. Their stories, we could all tell backward and forward.
Right.
Absolutely.
that's true. Okay, so how about these three women? Do you guys recognize any of these women? Because these three women became missing at the same time as the other women. This is Bianca Tanner from Charlotte. The first one, she was an elementary teacher missing from North Carolina. Or Latoya Fagoya. Her case is very similar to Lacey Peterson, happened during the Natalie Holloway case. Or last, Asha Degree disappeared in North Carolina 14 years ago when she was 9 and last seen in her bedroom, a case similar to Madeleine McCain. So there you go. I mean, that's clear as day. I mean, you look at the three and compare it to the other three.
We know the stories of the first group, and we
That's
don't
right.
know
So
the
the
stories
Black
of the
and
other three.
Missing Foundation was created in 2008 to bring attention to missing minorities after reading about the disappearance of Tamika Houston in South Carolina and the difficulty her family faced trying to get coverage. Natalie Wilson is the co-founder of the Black and Missing Foundation, headquartered in Maryland. I spoke with her by phone.
We read about her struggling to get any type of coverage for her beautiful niece. And a little while later, Natalie Holloway went missing, and just saying her name alone, we all know who she is. But just to read about the story and the struggles of this family to help find Tamika was very moving to us. And that's why the organization was created. And at that time, 30% of all persons missing were of color. It has now increased to 40% within 5 years.
Bottom line, we need to pay attention to our viewers, to what they're going through, and to get their stories out there when they are missing loved ones.
And it's about national coverage, not local coverage. We should point that out.
We do a great job here of treating everyone equally, and I'm proud of that. I think we all are.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to switch gears. Up next, is the ring wrong? The attention it got on Facebook that grabbed our attention. Also, are husband and wife becoming a thing of the past? A local couple's unique arrangement and why people these days seem to saying, I don't, to marriage.